Hey everybody, it's Rachel Hunley, and my presentation was over Kansas paraphrasing strategy. What exactly is the paraphrasing strategies? The paraphrasing strategy is designed to help students focus on the most important information in the passage. This strategy helps to improve students' recall of main ideas and specific facts that was in the passage or reading that they did. Students can recall the main idea and details and rephrase the content in their own words. Why exactly should we use this? By using the strategy, it can help students to better understand what they have just read, and it can provide them with the main idea and the main points of the passage and or reading that they had just done. How exactly do we use this strategy in the classroom? Here are some steps that we can take to use a strategy. Number one is have the students read a passage, short story, book, or etc. Number two would be circle or bracket the words and phrases that you do not want to change in the passage. Number three would be to underline or mark the words that can be changed. And number four is, after that is finished, by looking at the circle, bracketed, or underlined words, the students would be able to easily paraphrase the passage that they just read. I think that by using these steps, that it would be easy for students to follow along to. I think paraphrasing sometimes can be hard for students because they want to write word for word. But in this case, I feel like by following these steps, it would make them to be able to paraphrase it much easier. So I think using this in the classroom would be a lot of help. Examples of paraphrasing. The first example is the original sentence says, "Her life spanned years of incredible change for women." And the paraphrase is, "Mary lived through an era of liberating reform for women." The second example I found was the original sentence was, "Giraffes like acacia leaves and hay, and they can consume 75 pounds of food a day." The paraphrase is, "A giraffe can eat up to 75 pounds of acacia leaves and hay every day." Here is a paraphrasing example that I also found on Google. The original text says Willy Wonka was famous for his delicious candy. Children and adults loved to eat it. The paraphrase would be, Willy Wonka was known throughout the world because people enjoyed eating the tasty candy he made. I also like this example because it pointed out what exactly was changed in the original text, and in the paraphrase, it actually highlighted the words so you can see what all was changed and what all was kept. I think even this could be used in the classroom by highlighting the words that you are going to change or either keep. It would also give the students a visual to see how exactly they are going to be able to paraphrase their original text. The only bad thing about paraphrasing is plagiarism. I know that a lot of times students will want to write down or say exactly what the text has said, but that is also not a good thing to do. So paraphrasing can help the students greatly to see what kind of information they need to know from what they just read, but plagiarism comes into play with this. Students need to be taught and make sure that they know the difference between these two, and plagiarism can result in the student or students getting in trouble because of it. I think that if we lay ground rules down to our students before doing this, that they will be fine. I think that if they follow those simple little steps that I had mentioned earlier, that they should be fine in paraphrasing. I found this little worksheet online of questions after a student has read a passage. I think that these could work very well. Not only does it get the main ideas out of the passage, but once they're finished answering the questions, they can take all the information that they had written down and put it on a piece of paper, and that would be pretty much the whole paraphrase. Some modifications that we would have to use. So begin having the student read or listen to the passage. After each sentence that is read, stop reading, then have a discussion about it. Ask the students, what words would you keep? Which words would you throw out? Why are these words important? And then continue reading the passage and repeat this process over and over until the passage is completely read through. Some students will not know exactly which words to change or to keep, so I think that this is very important to ask them out loud, like, which words would you keep? Which words would you throw out? Why would you keep this? Why would you not? It just gives them an idea of what they are expected to do. And that is it. Thank you all very much.